Hi everybody. So I'm just going to continue where we left off, creating Vanellope von Schweetz from the movie Wreck-It Ralph. Or maybe you're just making a regular doll. It doesn't have to be her, but this is what she's going to look like. Now these are the supplies that you're going to use to create her. I've went over these in part 1, but just to review: black, teal, white, red, skin color, purple, and I mentioned in part 1 that you need 26 of your little 4mm pony beads. You only need 23, miscounted. And 7mm 2 black pony beads, or whatever you're using for the eyes. After today's video, this is what you should have completed. So I'm going to continue, and I do hope you enjoy. Round 1 of the head, we're going to do 5 single crochets in the magic ring. I'm using the bottom part of my loom. Just ignore these pieces that are on my loom. We're going to use the bottom part of the loom, and we're going to do 5 single crochets. So you're going to take your band and wrap it around the bottom peg 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Ignoring this piece again, you're going to bring the 5 bands through one at a time. So reach in, bring your first band through, and on your hook, and I am using the lightest skin color from the Rainbow Loom Skin Tone package. Bring your loop over and bring it to the side. Go back in for your second band, bring through, on your hook, and bring your top 2 loops over. Bring it to the side and go back in, and just repeat, bringing your band through, on your hook, and bring your 2 top loops over. And just continue. Now attach your stitch marker to the band that's around your hook and remove off the loom. Make sure you move your bands around, and you should have 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is on your hook. For round 2, we're going to add 2 bands to each chain. 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. So you're doing an increase on each chain around, adding 2 bands one at a time. At the end of round 2, you're going to have 10 stitches. So we're going to reach in our first chain and add our 2 bands one at a time. Go back in that same chain to add your second. And now the next chain, you're going to repeat adding 2 bands. Back in. And the next chain with 2. You're going to repeat this until you get to your stitch marker. Back in. You should have 10 stitches. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band around your hook. For round 3, we're going to increase on every second stitch. So the pattern is 1 single crochet followed by an increase. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, repeating this 5 times. At the end of round 3, you're going to have 15 stitches. So let's go in our first chain, not where it's getting pulled, and just bring 1 band through. 1 single crochet. The next chain, your increase, adding 2 bands. Back in. And repeat. 1. The next with 2. And repeat. 1, 2. Repeat this until you get to your stitch marker. in the last, back in. You should have 15 stitches. You can remove that stitch marker and add it to the band around your hook. For round 4, we're going to increase on every third stitch. So you're doing 2 single crochets followed by an increase. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Repeating this pattern 5 times. At the end of round 4, you're going to have 20 stitches. So let's go in the first 2 chains with 1 band in each. The next with 1. In my third chain, I'm adding 2 bands. Back in. And repeat. 1, 1, 2. Back in. And repeat. 1, 1, 2. Now just repeat until you get to the stitch marker. So you should have 20 stitches. Please remove your stitch marker. For round 5, we're going to increase on every 4th stitch this time. So the pattern is 1, 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 1, 2. Repeating this pattern 5 times. At the end of round 5, you're going to have 25 stitches. So I'm going to go in the first 3 chains with 1 band, just doing a single crochet. Not where it's getting pulled. Bring 1 band through. Chain 2 with 1. Chain 3, 1. And chain 4 is my increase, so I'm adding the 2 bands. Back in. And repeat. 1, 1, 1, 2. Back in. So just repeat this pattern until you get to the stitch marker. So you should have 25 stitches. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band around your hook. For round 6 and 7, you're adding 1 band to each chain. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way around. In each pile I have 25 bands, So at the end of round 6 and 7, you should have 25 stitches. I'm going to do round 6 with you, and then you're going to pause the video and come back to me when you've completed round 7. So I'm going to go on my first chain, not where it's getting pulled, and just adding 1 band. Next, 1 single crochet, just 1 band. And just repeat all the way until you get to your stitch marker. Remove your stitch marker, add it to the band that's around your hook. You should have 25 stitches. Now pause the video and come back to me when you've completed round 7. For round 8, we're going to add the eyes on now, and this is where they're going to be. I'm going to add them to chains 10 and 15. So right here I have 25 bands. 5 rows of 5. So this is 5 and 10. So on our 10th stitch, we're adding our first eye, and then on our 15th stitch, we're adding the second eye, and you're going to continue. This is 20 and 25. So you're adding 1 band to each chain around. 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way around. Now, if you don't have the pony beads and you have just elastics, you're just going to wrap this around your hook 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And add it to your band. So you're just going to slide this on. But most of you are using the pony beads or the doll eyes or even the googly eyes. And then you can just put this to the side. But I'm using the beads, so I'm just going to add them on. Just pinch your band and slide it on. So get those ready. And now we're going to do our first row, so our first 5 chains with 1 band. Not where it's getting pulled. Chain 2, chain 3, chain 4, chain 5, chain 6, chain 7, chain 8, chain 9, and chain 10. Let's add the first eye, grabbing the end, bringing it through, and just crochet normally. Now chain 11, chain 12, chain 13, chain 14, and chain 15. Now you're going to continue all the way till you get to your stitch marker. Sorry about the beeping, that's the coffee machine. And just continue, 1 band in each chain. So you should still have 25 stitches. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band around your hook. For rounds 9, 10, 11, and 12, you're just adding one band to each chain, 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way around. Each pile I have 25 bands, so at the end of each round you should have 25 stitches. I'm going to do round 9 with you, and then you're going to pause the video and come back to me when you've completed rounds 10, 11, and 12. So let's go in our first chain, not where it's getting pulled, and bring one band through. And the next with one. When you get to the eye, you're going to see that little tiny chain right there. That is one of your chains. It's just getting pulled because of the pony bead. So make sure that you're going in that tiny little chain that you see there. And again, tiny little chain. And the last one. So it's up to you if you want to remove your stitch marker or add another one. I usually add another one so I can keep track of where I'm at. Please pause the video and come back to me when you're done. Before we start round 13, I'm going to ask that you push your pony beads in now, or if you're using the bands, you want to just open up the back, move this band up to support on your hook here, and go inside, and you want to push your pony bead or your bands through that little V that you see there, just to make it flush, and the other side, little V. And if you're using the beads, you're just fixing that up. So this little band can stay at the top, just like that. Now for round 13, this is the pattern. 3 single crochets and then 4 and 5 together. 3 single crochets and 4 and 5 together. You can either stitch 4 and 5 together, but I am doing an invisible decrease. I just like the way it finishes. But if you want to save your 5 bands here, you can. So I can show you. You're going to do 3 single crochets. 1, 1, 1. So let's do that. In the first chain with 1. So we're making this round smaller, just so you know, and at this end of this round, which is our second last round, you're going to have 20 stitches at the end. So your next chain, chain 2 with 1. Chain 3 with 1. Now you can take chains 4 and 5 and stitch together here. And you just bring your band through. I'll show you. Just bring your band through both of these loops on your hook and slide. But I'm going to do the invisible decrease. So I'm going to do my slip stitch in my first chain and leave it on my hook. And then this would be chain 5, slip stitch, leave it on my hook, 3 loops and slide. Now I'm going to repeat this pattern. 3 single crochets in the first 3 chains. 1, chain 2, chain 3. And you can stitch 4 and 5 together. I'm doing my invisible decrease, slip stitch, next chain, slip stitch, and side. And repeat. You're just repeating this until you get to your stitch marker. Invisible decrease. And repeat. Three loops and side. And one more time. And my last 2 chains I'm going to stitch together with the invisible decrease method. Three loops and side. So again, you should have 20 stitches. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band around your hook. For round 14, this is the pattern. 2 single crochets followed by an invisible decrease. So I'm adding an extra band. So you're adding 1 band in the first 2 chains, and then you're stitching 3 and 4 together. I'm just adding my extra bands. Again, you can save your bands by not doing the invisible decrease, just because it's skin tone. So now I'm going to go in my first 2 chains with 1 band. We're making this round smaller, and at the end of this round you should have 15 stitches. This is our last round, so our last band we're going to do a slip knot to tie it closed. So first 2 chains with 1 band. Now I'm going to do my slip stitch and leave it on my hook. The next chain, slip stitch, leave it on my hook to do my decrease. And repeat. 1, 1 in the next, and then your 2 stitches together. Invisible decrease. And slide. And just repeat this until you get to your stitch marker. I'm at the last 2 stitches where you'd stitch together, and my last band I'm going to do the slip knot to tie it closed. So slip stitch, the last chain, this one you're going to bring through all of the loops, your end through all of the loops, and grab the other end of the band to tie it off. And remove your stitch marker. The head is done. You can put this to the side. Now we're going to thread 20 beads through your pony beads, or if you want to use different assortment colored rubber bands instead of the pony beads. These are 4mm, and you are going to need about 23. I know I mentioned in part 1 that you need 26, but I kind of miscounted. So with your hook, if you don't have the beads, just take a rubber band and wrap it around your hook 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 loops, and then slide it onto a black band, and you can use different colors. This is just representing the candy in her hair. Or if the beads, just pinch your bands and just bring it through. And you can pause the video and get that ready and put that to the side. Now we're going to make the strands of her hair. And I'm going to go straight down the loom, just as you see here. This is 1 and 2. We need to make a total of 10 strands. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to do 1 with you, 8, 9, and 10. So I'm going to go straight down the loom and take my last band and wrap it around my hook 3 times. So I'm going to do that. Now the placement of the beads is up to you where you would like to place them. I'm suggesting if you're using the loom, maybe your first one you can put on 2, your bead, your next one on 3, and your next one on 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's up to you where you'd like. You can even add more if you like. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to go down the loom, starting at the top and go down. 2. Maybe I'll add the bead there. Give me a second. Just grab the bead. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. I went straight down. Take your last band and wrap it around the bottom peg 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. So just a basic chain. Now you're going to loop up. So I've done my first one on my second, my next on my third, and my next on the fourth, and just repeat until you have a total of 10. So I'm going to move this out of the way and going to loop. I'm going to reach in, grab my band, and go forward. Now you do need something to keep these on. I do have an extra hook. You could use a pencil, a skewer, anything that you have. I know most people have extra hooks. And to remove, I'm going to use my extra hook and remove off the loom and push up. And now I'm going to continue to do my other one, so I have a total of 10. So pause the video and you want to have that all ready. Round 1 of the hair, I'm going to attach 5 of the hair pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on a magic ring. It's a bit tricky, so it's not hard, but it's just tricky. So I'm attaching 5 in the magic ring. If you have any questions, because it is black and you are having a hard time to see, just listen to my voice. But if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm going to take my first band and wrap it around the bottom peg 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm going to remove one of the hair pieces. And I'm holding the second band you can see here to support this first one so it doesn't slide off. Now with my hook, I want to reach in and I'm going to grab one of the ends of that band and bring it through. Grab the other end slowly so you can see I didn't lose my chain, and I'm just going to slide. So just imagine you're just making that magic ring with that single band and bring it around. Keeping your end on your hook, reach back in. You can let go to grab your other piece, holding the second band as you can see as support. Grab your band, bring through, put your hook through the other end, and you can kind of let go and slide or bring your 2 loops over. Which one is easier? Bring it to the side. Go back in, you can release and get your other one. Again, holding the second chain down, grab your band and bring through. And you're only bringing 5, and I seem to have lost count. So bring it through your 2 loops and bring it to the side. So it was 3, I need to do 2 more. Back in. Grab your band, bring it through, hold on, and bring your 2 loops over. Back in, release, grab your band, bring it through your end and your 2 loops over. Now attach your stitch marker to the band that's around your hook, and you should have 5 stitches, and you will see right at the top here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is on your hook. Now for round 2, I'm going to add 2 bands to each chain around. So one of them will be a single black in the first chain and a hairpiece. So just 1. 1 and then 1 in the first chain. So let's go on the first chain. And you're going to bring your band through on your hook and slide. Going back in that same chain, you're going to pull one of your hair pieces through. So let's put this down, grab one of the hair pieces, holding on to the second chain for support, bring your end through on your hook, the other end, and slide. So I just did 2 in the same chain. So now moving on to the next chain, you're going to bring 1 band through and slide. Going back in that same chain to add a hair piece. Holding for support, bring your end through. I'm kind of grabbing my hair here, and grab the end and slide. So now I have 3 more sections, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3, and 3 more hair pieces. 1, 2, and 3. So let's go on our next chain, bring your band through on your hook and slide, and go back in that same chain. Grab your hair piece, bring it through. So I'm holding on really tight so that band doesn't come out. Grab the other end and slide. So now I have 2 chains left, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and 2 hair pieces. Go in, bring your band through, go back in, grab your other hair piece, grab your end, hold it tight, grab your other end and slide. Now 1 more chain left where your stitch marker is. On my hook and slide, and now go back in, grab your other hair piece, other end and slide. So now we have 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 is on your hook. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. So this is what you should have. For round 3, we're going to do 1 single crochet followed by an increase. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So you're repeating this 5 times. At the end of round 3, you're going to have 15 stitches. So this is the basic math that I do for every one of my creations. So if you can't see what I'm doing, just please follow to what I'm saying. 1 band in the first chain. So I'm not going where it's getting pulled. and add 1 band. 2 bands in the next chain. Back in. And now moving to the next chain, you're repeating 1, 2. Next with 2. Back in. And repeat 1, 2. You're going to repeat until you get to your stitch marker. I have 4 chains left. I'm going to repeat 1, 2. Back in. And repeat 1, 2. So you should have 15 stitches. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. For round 4, we're going to increase on every 3rd stitch. So you're doing 2 single crochets followed by an increase, 2 single crochets followed by an increase. You're repeating this pattern 5 times. At the end of round 4, you're going to have 20 stitches. So first 2 chains, 1 and 2 with 1 band. It's not where it's getting pulled. 1. The next chain with 1. And your 3rd chain, you're adding 2 bands. Open it up and go back in. And repeat 1, 1, 2. You're just repeating until you get to the stitch marker. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. For round 5, this is the pattern. 3 single crochets followed by an increase. 1, 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 1, 2. You're repeating this pattern 5 times. At the end of round 5, you're going to have 25 stitches. So let's go in the first 3 chains with 1 band. 1, 1, 1. In the 4th, you're adding 2 bands. Back in. And repeat 1, 1, 1, 2. Back in. And just repeat the pattern until you get to the stitch marker. I'm at the last one with 2 bands. So you should have 25 stitches. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band around your hook. Now we're going to add the beads on chains 15, 17, and 20. So that would be these 3 at the top here. So pick the colors that you would like. So I'm going to add them. I have 25 bands here. So at the end of this round, you should have 25 stitches. So we're just adding 1 band to each chain. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way around. So let's add our 3 beads. I'm going to put on chains 15. So this is 5, 10, and 15. 16, 17, and 20. 17, 18, 19, 20. So that's how the pattern's going to look like. So now, you're just following the pattern with 1 band in each chain. Bring your bead through when you're ready on your hook and slide, just the same as just with a single band. And I'm at my next, I'm on chain 17. This is chain 20. So you should still have 25 stitches, and remove your stitch marker. For round 7, again, I have 25 bands, so we're adding 1 band to each chain. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way around. I'm going to add another bead on chains 18. So that one is going to be this one right here. So I have 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, and 18, and adding my bead there. So just go around with 1 band in each chain. Make sure you open it up. Beside, you should have like a tiny little chain there. Don't miss that one. I'm gonna bring my bead in. You should have 25 stitches, and remove your stitch marker. For round 8, same thing, adding 1 band to each chain, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way around. So I have 25 bands here again, and on round 8, we're going to add the beads, 2 of them, to 15 and 20. So this is 5, 10, 15, and 20, and a total of 25 bands. So you can go ahead and do that. Starting not where it's getting pulled, and just adding 1 band. There is just 2 more rounds to the hair. Should still have 25 stitches. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band around your hook. For round 9 of the hair, again, we have 25 bands, and I'm going to use 3 of my pony beads. So I'm going to add 1 band to each chain, 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way around. For our beads, we're going to add them to chain 6, 16, and 18. So I have 5, this would be 6, so this is 5, 10, 15, and 16, 17, and 18, another bead. So again, they're on chains 6, 16, and 18. So we're just going to go in our first chain, not where it's getting pulled, and this is our second last round for the hair. I'm going to change my color of my bead here because this is purple. So I'm just going to pick another color. And my last one. Again, you should still have 25 stitches. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band around your hook. For round 10, same thing. This is our last round for her hair. You're adding one band, one, all the way around. Your last band, you're going to do a slip knot to tie it closed. Now we have 4 beads here, and I'm going to add them to chains 4, 6, 17, and 19. So let's add my first one to chains 4. So I have a total of 25 bands here, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So this is 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6, so now chain 17, 5, 10, 15, 16, and 17, 18, and 19. I think I'm going to switch these 2 colors. So this is what the pattern's going to look like. So you can go ahead and start in your first chain, not where it's getting pulled, and do your first single crochet. So just one band. In our last chain, we're going to tie it off by bringing our band through all of the loops that were on our hook. Grab the end and slide and give it a tug. And you can remove your stitch marker. And this is what you should have. Now let's go ahead and we're going to stuff the body and the head using some stuffing. I'm going to do the body first. This is pretty straightforward. Make sure you don't add too much. You do want to fill in the legs, the top part of the leg area. And with my fingers inside, I'm just moving it around. So I'm getting all the little gaps filled. Now I am going to flatten out the body, give it a little twirl, and then I know that I've overstuffed it. I've got a bit of a gap in here, so I'm going to add a little bit more. And that should be okay. And the same thing for the head. I'm going to move it around because she does have cheeks. So you want to fill in the sides of her face. Give it a twirl, move the stuffing around, and I think I could actually add a little bit more. and that should be okay. And next we're just going to attach her head to the body. Now we're going to sew on the head, and I'm going to use 15 bands because we have 15 stitches and 15 stitches here. So what you want to do first is find the center back of the body because your slip knot probably isn't right at the back. So this is the front and this is the back. So I'm just going to fold it in half and find the band that's going sideways, which is this one right here. You can see on mine, it's going sideways. That's the one I want to go through first. And I'm going to do the same thing, put that down for a second, to the head. So you want to fold it in half, so find the placement of the eyes, fold in half, and find the stitch that's going sideways. So you can see it's right here. You want to, with your hook, go through the body first and then through the stitch on that head. I'm going to turn it around so you can see I went through the stitch in the head. So body, then head, and bring a band through. Grab the end and slide. Now I'm going to grab the body first, the next stitch on the head, and bring a band through, and I'm just going to crochet. So grab the end and slide. Body, the next stitch on the head, and just go around. Bring your band through and slide. Body, then head. Body, and then head. So I've already done 5 stitches, so let me just show you what it looks like. Body, and then head. Body, and then head. Body, and then head. This is where you should see if the eyes are kind of lined up with the front of her body, then you know you're doing it right. Body, head, body, head. Try not to grab the stuffing. Body, head. My last band, I'm going to do a slip knot to tie it closed. Got both ends, and slide. Now turn it around, and you just want to push some of the stuffing up to the neck, and even at the end you can still fix up. So this is what you should have. Now what we're going to do is do the licorice part that's in her hair, and you can kind of do like a little bracelet if you want to, or a single chain. I'm going to show you what I did on this one. So I started off with a chain of 12. So you can see I have 6 and 12, and this would be 13. So this is my cap band that I'm going to wrap around my hook 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. So I have 3 loops, and you're just going to make a chain of 12. This is easier and faster if you were to use your loom, but right now I've already started. So you're just going to add 12 bands to this chain, and you're going to do a reverse stitch after that, working your way backwards with 11 bands. and then tie it off. I wonder if I'm the only one who twists the chain when they're doing it this way, because I always twist the bands. So now I'm going to use 11 bands. And I'm going to go backwards. So keeping your chain, you want to keep your chain straight and even, and leave these 2 bands on your hook and just go towards the back inside your chain and do a single crochet. Through your chain on your hook, you have 4 loops and slide. Now you're just doing that all the way to the end, 1 band in each chain. And your last band, just tie it off. I'm just going backwards in each chain. And this is your last band. I'm before the cap band here. Bring it through all of the loops and do a slip knot. And that's how you tie it closed. And then you just, this is what you have, and just flatten it out. Now I don't know if it's going to fall out, but I'm going to show you now how to attach this. I don't think it will fall off when we're sewing this to its head, to our head. What you're going to do is I'm going to go through like 1, 2, and maybe 3 of the little loops here, any one on one side with your hook, and you're going to bring the end of this through. So you want to be below. Probably is smarter if we do this after we attach. And just pull it through, and that's what we're going to do. And that's it. And then you can just take this and hide this slip knot. I do suggest hiding this when you're done creating her, because it probably will just come out.